Alright guys, just San here, back for another Dragon Ball Z Dokkan battle video. And with the Golden Week banners being out for a bit at this point, of course the hype has started to die down just a little, so now our attention is shifted more towards the Part 2 LR. Now we're not sure yet whether this is a Legendary Summon LR or Carnival LR, but we do know we are getting a Part 2 LR just because that's how the Golden Week celebrations go. And I do have the Super Saiyan Goku and then the Super Saiyan Gohan pulled up from last year, because they were the previous year's Golden Week Part 2 LR. And of course, they released around the 13th of May, so that is when we should expect to see the Part 2 Golden Week LR again. And I did want to do a video speculating on what Part 2 LR we could see, because a lot of the options are kind of just up in the air, right? There's not really many other things that would coincide with what we got for Part 1, which was the Goku and Piccolo World Tournament, because we already got all the hype moments from that, really. I mean, we got the banner unit Krillin, we got the banner unit Tien, so in terms of like hypeness, I don't really think there's that much else that would really like be a good Part 2 LR, but there are some other options that are from like Dragon Ball Saga and stuff that still kind of correlates with the celebration that I think definitely would be really good, at least to a lot of teams that really need the help right now. So first off, we have a Demon King Piccolo. Now, I mean, it was in the thumbnail. Of course, you knew he was going to be on the list. I think a new Demon King Piccolo would be really good. He would help out a lot of teams that really need the help, Namekians. So I definitely think he would be a good addition. I mean, I know Namekian just got buffs, but we still need a couple good additions to it, right? Like a crazy LR Demon King Piccolo would be really beneficial. And they could give some sub EZAs to some just like random Demon King Piccolos as well. I know there's a couple ones that need it, like the STR one. So just a Part 2 LR Demon King Piccolo would be very beneficial. We can't really speculate too much on what he would do. I mean, maybe they'd want to keep the damage reduction thing, so they'd give him a bit of damage reduction. They could make him be an orb changer or something like that, or where he gets attacking defense per key sphere obtained, or something like that. But other than that, not really a whole lot we can speculate on. If we're lucky, he'll have big bad bosses, and then these would probably be all the categories he would have, right? I mean, not really a difference in terms of that. But, I mean, that's pretty much it. I think a Demon King Piccolo would be really cool. They could do a transformation, I guess. I mean, it'd be a little weird because they did one with this guy. So it would be like the exact same unit, just obviously not a World Tournament LR. But, I mean, I guess they could do it, right? Because with new animations or animations from different scenes, you know, they could definitely make it work. So a new Demon King Piccolo, I think, is definitely possible because he does kind of fit the theme, right? And then next up, we do have a Hercule. Now, I got a comment talking about this. So technically, the theme is World Tournament, not really like Dragon Ball Saga. And getting a World Tournament Hercule, I think, would actually be pretty cool, right? I mean, I know a lot of people were talking about a Dokkan Fest Hercule, but I mean, I think an LR Hercule would still be really beneficial to a lot of these categories. You know, World Tournament definitely could use the buffs. He'd probably be on Earthlings, Saviors, Bond of Friendship, and, you know, those categories really could use a good LR. And as long as he's, like, really good, which going off of how they've made the last couple LRs, you would assume he would be, then he would just be a big help to the game, because we don't really get that much Hercule representation. We did get that free-to-play unit during the 8th year anniversary, but he was very bad. Like, very, very bad. I think he has, like, a high chance to revive, which is horrible. I don't know, having a chance to revive kind of just ruins the revive, right? Because then you can't rely on it, and then if you die and you don't get it, then you're just dead, and then it's like, okay, well, then why do you even have the revive? So, you know, something like that wouldn't really be good for Hercule. But I think if they could give him other things, like, you know, support maybe, because him being on these good teams and then being a support unit would just be crazy. In terms of links, I don't know. They could kind of do whatever they want. I mean, he's not really going to have that good of a link set, I could just tell you now. I guess same thing goes with this guy, really, a Demon King Piccolo. But the difference between a Hercule and then a Demon King Piccolo is the Demon King Piccolo already has some good Namekian partners, right? I mean, we got the new Piccolo. Obviously, there is the, you know, the Piccolo that just got an EZA. And then we would get some of the Demon King Piccolo sub-EZAs. So, I mean, this guy has some better partners compared to, like, a Hercule that really wouldn't be that good in terms of, like, having other units to link with. But if you make him a support, then he'll still work somewhat well with other units, and it'll just help him out a lot. So, I think maybe if he could support, like, I mean, I would just want, like, all-type support, but I could see him probably supporting, like, Earthlings or something like that, and then just being a 200% lead across the board to Earthlings. Because right now, the LR Prime Battle Krillin is the best Earthlings lead, and he's free to play, so I don't know if Dokkan's going to want a free-to-play unit being the best lead for a category. So I feel like maybe a Part 2 LR Hercule with Earthlings as a just 200% leader skill. Obviously, that would mean he'd be a Carnival LR. Is very possible because, I mean, you know, like a hype Hercule unit, like a Dokkan Fest or an LR Hercule, I think is definitely up and coming. And whether it's now or later, I mean, it's inevitable, right? So I might as well just get it out of the way now because, you know, he's not that hype. But unfortunately, a lot of the units that are in contention for this Part 2 LR aren't insanely hype. I mean, I know that's obviously just up to you if you think it's hype, but generally speaking, compared to like, you know, previous Golden Week Part 2 LRs, this celebration is just a little less hype. But anyway, moving on to our next choice, we have a Master Roshi. So more specifically, it'd be a Master Roshi, a Krillin, and a Goku. I think that definitely could be really cool. You know, they could do a lot of different things. I don't think there's anything specifically that they would do just to stay consistent with like any other unit. I mean, they could make him a Turtle School support. I guess they could make him a Turtle School lead, but I don't really think we need that right now. We already have a 200% lead for that category. I mean, all I really ask if we do get Master Roshi, Goku, and Krillin is that they just have like a really good animation where they all do the Kamehameha. Because I feel like that could look really cool. I mean, whether it's an active skill, an 18 key, I don't care. Just as long as they have it and it looks really cool, I'm completely down for that. So, I mean, that's pretty much it with that. I mean, they wouldn't really be on that many like crazy teams. They would be on Warriors Raised on Earth, which definitely is really good. I mean, they'd be on Turtle School, which is good. Bond of Master and Disciple, which is alright. They'd be on Kamehameha. And that's all I can think of, because they wouldn't be on Earthlings, right? So they wouldn't be benefiting that team, because obviously Goku's on there and he's not an Earthling. He wouldn't be on Final Trump Card. He wouldn't be on... Well, he might be on Battle of Wits. They could probably pull that off. But anyway, because it's the three of them, obviously with Joined Forces cards, categories just completely go down the bin, because then obviously the unit only gets categories that all the units in the actual card shares. So it gets kind of complicated, but they would still be on some solid teams. So overall, I think a Goku, Master Roshi, and Krillin would be a good choice. But I don't know if it's that likely, because the theme is more geared towards World Tournament, but it's definitely still possible. And then next up, we have an LRTN. Now, I have this guy pulled up because he's the only other LRTN we have. This guy's on Sand Saga, though, which is weird because he's also on World Tournament. So I don't know when this guy is from. I mean, I would assume Sand Saga because it's Chaozu and Tien. Obviously, Chaozu and Tien both showed up to fight Nappa. So I would assume then, but I don't know why he's on World Tournament. But anyway, I think a LRTN is definitely possible from the World Tournament previous to the, you know, Goku versus Piccolo World Tournament. I don't remember the numbers of the World Tournaments. That's why I'm saying it oddly. But anyway, I think it is definitely possible. He could be really good, right? I mean, we just got a banner unit Tien, so we already can see what they can do with that. You know, there definitely is a lot of possibilities with the LRTN. He'd be on some really good categories. I mean, you can just see right here, Worthy Rivals, Earthlings, World Tournament, all those definitely could use like a really good unit. So I think he would be a good addition. It probably wouldn't be a Tien and Chaozu, though. It would probably just be a Tien, which would still be good. And this, I'm obviously referring to the Tien from the Tien and Goku fight where Tien won. So I think that could be pretty interesting. Tien definitely could use a little bit more representation in the game. But it would be a little odd getting an LRTN right after getting a banner unit version of Tien, obviously. So I don't know if this is necessarily like highly likely, but it's definitely possible. And then now moving on to our next choice and our last choice, we have a Chi-Chi. So in the same World Tournament where Goku and Piccolo fought, Goku also fought Chi-Chi. So I think it definitely is possible we could get maybe an LR Goku and Chi-Chi unit where like they're both fighting, but then, you know, they do attacks to like the enemy, obviously. So I don't know how that would work, but I think that definitely could be pretty cool. I mean, I talked about this in a recent video, but we don't get that much Chi-Chi representation. So I think a Part 2 LR of her would be pretty cool. And the only reason I say throw Goku in the mix there is just to make it a little bit more hype, right? Because, you know, if you've got Goku in the card, of course, sales would just naturally do better. And, I mean, they'd be on some alright categories if it was a Goku and a Chi-Chi that have Goku family. I guess they'd have Warriors Raised on Earth, World Tournament. But if it was just a standalone Chi-Chi, actually, that would be beneficial just to, like, more categories. Because then she'd be on Peppy Gals, which is just not good right now. I mean, we've got the Kale that just released. And then we've got, like, Chilai. And then other than that, this category is pretty bad. So, I think, I mean, a standalone LR Chi-Chi definitely would be beneficial in terms of categories. But, you know, in terms of hypeness, throwing Goku in there probably would make them just a little bit more money, right? But, I mean, yeah, that's pretty much the video. These are just kind of units that I think we could see for the Part 2 LR. If you disagree with any of these choices, feel free to let me know in the comments. I just kind of picked these off the top of my head because I feel like these make the most sense, right? Because it is a little bit more difficult to determine what the Part 2 LR of this celebration is going to be because it's just kind of World Tournament themed, right? There's not really a specific fight or a specific like saga necessarily that they're trying to target. But anyway, that has been the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. Let me know who you want to see be the Part 2 LR for Golden Week. And yeah, I'll catch y'all in the next one.